Hey there, my name is Mackenzie and welcome to my little corner of the internet. If you're new here, hey, nice to meet ya, and if you're returning, welcome back. So today's video, I'm going to be doing another one of my Japanese music recommendation videos, this time focusing on Valentine's Day, as that is the current season we're in. It's the season of love and an abundance of chocolate. Eating your weight's worth in chocolate. I feel like Valentine's Day is more about the treats that you eat during this time period than the actual like love aspect of the holiday, but I digress. Now, this list is going to be mostly made up of songs that are commonly found on music rankings that are done by Japanese music shows and web articles, and also on like the train TV that they have on the trains. Sometimes they have song rankings as voted by Japanese people of what songs that they tend to listen to at this time of year, what they think of when they think of Valentine's Day, what songs come to mind. I'll also be including a few of my personal favorites that I like to listen to around this time of year, or that are like deep cuts so that they don't end up often on these rankings. The thing with the Japanese music rankings is they're often like singles that were released as A-sides, so they have music videos, they had promotion, so that's why they are kind of like in the collective society subconscious, whereas like there's so many good songs that could be good for Valentine's Day, but because they're albums or they're B-side tracks, you don't really see them come up like at all on these types of rankings. So I'll be including a few of those in order to round out this list to a really lovely 14, and then I'll be including a few bonuses at the end, just because I can. Let's get started. Chocolate Disco, Perfume. Now, this song is the number one Valentine song. The minute it turns February 1st, this song is literally everywhere. You can't get away from it. And it has been the number one Valentine song on every ranking ever. Pretty much the entire like 20 years this song has existed. It's actually kind of insane, but that's the popularity level of Chocolate Disco. It's like permanently ingrained in Japanese people's minds as the ultimate Valentine's Day song. So of course it's sitting here at number one. It's an oldie, but it's catchy as hell. And as someone that obviously I learned the choreography as a Perfume fan in my teens, you can't not do it. Like I hear it and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like it's so freaking good, guys. But yeah, definitely like peak classic Perfume. So Chocolate Disco. Bittersweet, Arashi. Love So Sweet is an obvious one, so that's why it's not on this list, because for this list I tried to keep only like one or maybe like one song per artist. So although I know that Love So Sweet could go here, Love So Sweet is like on every Japanese music ranking in the history of ever. It doesn't matter what the ranking is, this song will appear on it. So for this one time, Love So Sweet is being excluded. This is probably the one time where Love So Sweet is not the more dominant Arashi song on a list. Valentine's Day really does belong to Bittersweet, and I'm good for Bittersweet. It deserves that. And it's kind of nice to see a different Arashi track get a lot of love from the general public and be like associated with something, you know? I love this song a lot. Actually, I really liked it when it was released. And it was the theme song to a drama that Matsujin starred in, I believe, and it was about chocolate. Like he played a chocolatier, and it aired during the winter season. It was very much, I think, technically a Valentine's Day based drama, if I'm remembering right. And so it very much, like, because it was themed around chocolate, it was themed around Valentine's Day. I think that's kind of where the association comes when it comes to this song. It was also released around the Valentine's Day season and would have been promoted around that time. So this makes sense that Japanese people associate this specific Arashi song with Valentine's Day, and I think it fits. I think it's really nice. Koi ni ochitara, Crystal K. Now, I'm biased for Suzuki ID's version that she released sometime last year. I do like Crystal K's version. ID's version has a rap section in it for some reason. I don't quite know why they did that. It's not necessarily bad, it's just Irie's version was the one that introduced me to the song in the first place. I never heard it prior to this, or at least I don't think I had. And so I just assumed that the rap was a part of the original as well. And it turns out that it wasn't. The original does not have a rap. But Crystal K's vocals are lovely. The song in its original composition is lovely. Definitely kind of like gives those like warm, kind of fuzzy vibes to it. So regardless of whether you listen to the original or Irie's version, both are really lovely. It's just a great song at its core, so I don't think it would matter who sang it. But yeah, this one is very, very common around this time of year in Japan. It's very strongly associated with Valentine's Day. I did find it on almost every single ranking that I checked out, so clearly it's very popular among the masses here, and good for Crystal K. She deserves that. She's fantastic. Koi, Hoshinogen. I'm just gonna say it. I'm kind of in love with Hoshinogen, so I don't know who needs to know that information. It's not particularly relevant to this entire thing, but I've seen him in a lot of dramas over the last few months and accidentally fell in love with him, so I had to include him on this list because I have a lot of love for Hoshinogen during the most romantic season of the year. When it comes to Koi, Koi is obviously, I mean, if you're a Japanese music fan, you probably know of Koi, or it won't take you very long before you discover it. If this video is the first time you are discovering the song, you're welcome, but also you're very lucky that you weren't around when this song was as huge as it was, because this was like quite literally like an entire year and a half to 2 years of this song just dominating absolutely everything. But it is definitely one of my most favorite Japanese songs in general. The composition of it's lovely, the flow of it, his vocals, like just everything, dude. And I can see why a lot of Japanese people listen to it around this time of year. Koi is definitely one of the biggest songs of the Heisei era for sure. Its popularity was undeniable and massive, and kind of skyrocketed Hoshino-san into like this pop culture icon for years. Like without this song, I don't know if he ever would have launched the way that he did. Like it was just crazy. He was everywhere, this man. It's actually kind of impressive I didn't fall in love with him sooner. Like it literally took like until way after this time period. I think maybe it was because he was so oversaturated in the market that I didn't care for him. I didn't get the appeal. It wasn't until I saw him as an actor and started like seeing his acting ability regularly, and specifically him in the Wife Escapist drama, which this song was the theme song for. I can see it, guys. I can understand why he was as popular and his character in that drama was as popular as it was. It's one of the best dramas I've watched, and his performance in it is fantastic, and yeah, he got me good. Toriko, Nishi. Now, this was my very first Nishi song, actually, fun fact. And although I feel like this is one of those songs, this one and Gift, I kept seeing come up in rankings if Nishi came up at all. And Gift is actually quite literally a Christmas song. You could tell by the music video. It was in my Christmas music playlist if you want to check that video out as well. Toriko is kind of like a standard love song, and it wasn't released in February particularly, but a lot of people do like this song for this time of year. Just like with Koi, it's very fun, it's very upbeat, it's very energetic, and Nishi's vocals are fabulous on this track, as usual. Actually, that's every Nishi track. I don't know why I'm pointing that out like as if it's unique to this particular song. Kimi ga suki, Shimizu Shota. I brought up Shimizu Shota a few times on my Christmas music playlist as well. He's definitely the king of R&B love ballads in this country, and so I definitely think that he deserves to be on this list, and it's no surprise that any of his songs come up. My Boo is the other one that comes up a lot, but I chose Kimi ga suki because I feel like if anybody knows any Shimizu Shota song, it's this one. And similar to Koi, it really launched him in a way like very early in his career. It was his breakout hit. I believe it was also his debut at the same time. It's one of his biggest songs, and I just feel like it matches the whole playlist a little bit better because it's just so, like, it's light and it's pretty and it feels like warm, you know? And I get this one stuck in my head regularly, just random sometimes too. So it's a bit of an earworm. Hatsukoi, Utare Hikaru. I know, First Love is the obvious choice. You don't need to tell me that. But just like with Arashi, I wanted to include the less obvious choice because I feel like Utada specifically has so many love songs, like Prisoner of Love, Flavor of Life. A lot of Hiki's music makes it up onto just pretty much any music ranking ever in this country, just like with Arashi. And any of her love songs could fit the bill for this, really. I personally chose Hatsukoi because it's one of the few, like, ballady love songs that are on this list that kind of slow things down a little bit. When it comes to Valentine's Day tracks, a lot of the time Japanese music rankings tend to gravitate more towards these fun, upbeat, almost kind of spring-like songs. And although I love that, I love because that's the way that love feels. Do you know what I mean? So I do love that, but I feel like it would be nice to kind of see a few softer songs, maybe even a few sad songs. Valentine's Day isn't always a happy holiday for everyone. So I feel like Hatsukoi could be a good representation of that for that first love that you have that didn't work out or did work out. Hatsukoi is such a unique song, and I love it. Every time I listen to it, it gets me kind of emotional and teary. So yeah, I feel like if there's any Hiki song that I would want to represent her general music on a list like this, I feel like Hatsukoi deserves to be here a bit more for me than like the obvious First Love. That song is sort of an answer song too anyway, so it's sort of like the more grown-up, mature version of First Love, and I love that. I love that it's a more mature take, a more grown take on First Love. So Hatsukoi. I Know Arika, Heisei Jump. One of my favorite Heisei Jump songs ever. I freaking love this song to death. The suits, the red suits, that unlocked something in my brain, guys. When I was like 15, 16 when this song dropped, this music video made me realize that I really like the look of a man in a suit. Like, I just gotta say, like, they looked sleek. And Chitan with his new haircut at the time, with the short spikiness of it, oh, that was to die for. The orchestra, instrumentation, the vocals, that rap bit in the like 2/3 of the way into the song, the choreography, the Shit Kings really popped off with that choreography. I, to this day, stand by the idea that the Shit Kings and Heisei Jump are like the ultimate combination, and I don't think that they really should work with any other choreography group, to be real with you. Like, I don't know why they work with anybody else, because there's nothing Shit Kings have ever done for them that hasn't been phenomenal, truly. It was released around Valentine's Day. It was meant to be very Valentine's Day-esque. So I feel like it obviously would be belonging on this list, but it doesn't really come up in music rankings because this song didn't really hit the mainstream the way that like Bittersweet did with Arashi, or the way that Koi did for Hoshino-san. It's a popular jump song, I would say, but it just, at the time of release, it wasn't huge. So that's probably why it doesn't really show up, but it does deserve to be here for sure. I stand by that. I die on this hill. Koi no Tsubomi, Korokumi. I actually don't know why this song is on this list, I'll be honest with you. I feel like Kodokumi has like 1,000,001 love songs that would work well. I knew she'd be on this list. I knew that I'd find her on rankings for sure. I just didn't necessarily think it would be this track, so I was kind of surprised. So the song is apparently particularly popular amongst the Japanese public, and especially as it relates to Valentine's Day. This is the Kodokumi love song that they think of for this time of year. It's not my favorite song of hers, but that's why I'm leaving it on this list, because that's what this list is meant to represent, is what's popular in Japan during this time of year, and this song is it, apparently. Chouchou Musubi, Ame. This song, again, is not one of those tracks that is like particularly Valentine's-esque per se, but just like with Hatsukoi, it's a little slower, it's a little more unique on this track list in general in terms of like the vibes of all of the songs. They all kind of fit together in similar categories. They feel like a cohesive playlist for the most part. This song kind of slows things down a little bit, takes a different route, and I think I saw at least one or two song rankings that had this one listed. If any of her music was listed, it was this one, or there was another one that I kept seeing. But I chose this one just because it's a little bit unique, and I thought that it would go well with the flow that we have going here. Cherry, Yui. Now, this one is immensely popular. This appeared on absolutely every single song ranking, every single playlist. I actually had a hard time not finding this song on any of these lists. So this one is extremely popular, but again, it was not released as a Valentine's song or anything like that. It's just because it's such a popular love song on its own that people listen to it a lot around this time of year. I really like this song. I'll be honest, I wasn't super familiar with it until this time of year rolled around and I started hearing it every now and again, you know, the speakers in the grocery store and stuff. But I now have it on my Spotify playlist because it's actually a good song. I like it, and it kind of has those like warm, fuzzy feelings about it, about first loves. So I'm happy that this kind of helped me discover the song because I probably wouldn't have otherwise. Kokoro no sakebi uto o shite mita. Kyuto. 心の叫びも歌にしてみたら伝わるかしら誰にも見せたことない All on me. This is one of my favorite Kyuto songs. This is one of my favorite springtime Kyuto songs. I listen to this song all year round, but it definitely kicks up around February, March, April. Everything about it was lovely. Just the vibe of the song, the instrumentals, the vocals, the choreography, the music video is particularly lovely. It's just such a good song. I'm just so happy it exists, and I wanted to add it to this list because I definitely wanted at least one Hello Project song represented on this list. It was a little bit surprising, but aside from Chocoretto Damashi by Matsura Aya, that was the only Hello Project song that ever made any of these lists, and I don't think it's even Matsura's best work. It's just because it was a chocolate-themed song for Valentine's Day that it was popular, and not because the song is particularly fantastic. So I swapped that one out with Kyuto's because I think it's much better for this time of year. Lonely Girl, Ayane. Lonely Girl is a good song. It was released around Valentine's Day, and I guess you can kind of consider it like an anti-Valentine's Day song almost, because it's kind of like the opposite. It's somebody that isn't with anybody on Valentine's Day and is lonely, but it's got this like fun R&B, kind of more upbeat, cooler sort of tone to it. So it's not like it's a sappy ballad about how lonely she is. It's got a good beat to it, and it's nice to listen to, and her vocals are lovely as always. We're ending this list off with Be My Valentine by Heisei Jump. This song is so goofy, it's silly, it's fun, it doesn't take itself seriously. When Keito, who's no longer in the group, by the way, for those of you that are new, but when Keito says ladies and ladies, it makes me laugh every fucking time. But like, this song was so funny and so much fun the first time I listened to it, but every time there's certain points that still make me laugh, and as my Japanese improves more and more over time and I catch things, I laugh again because now I get some of the jokes that are laid out. I can catch them now. But yeah, it's so good. I love the song so much, and it felt like it's such a shame that it was a B-side on a release, because it means that the general public didn't get to enjoy this song the way that I get to enjoy it and fans get to enjoy it. If this song had been released as an A-side, I do think it would have been popular if they'd marketed it properly, had like a fun music video and that kind of thing. I think it could have been big, but alas, not very many people know about it, so it never appears on any song rankings. But now that Jump is on things like Spotify and Apple Music as of this year, I'm really hoping that that will change and that we will see that song get more love and appreciation at this time of year. As for the bonus songs, I'm just gonna quickly run through them because I'm gonna be late for school if I don't hurry this up. Suki, Eiru, her music's fantastic. If you haven't listened to her yet, do yourself a favor and get over on Spotify and give her a listen because she's fantastic. Her song Ski is, I think, the first song that I listened to by her, and it's not like her only really good love song, but it is my favorite one. It's one of those songs that like just gives my brain that shot of dopamine every time I listen to it, so I felt like it should definitely be included on this bonus list. Koi wo surunda, Heisei Jump. I know we're going for a third Heisei Jump song, but I'm a Jump fan. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But Koi wo surunda is probably my favorite Jump song, like ever. Like I would rank it higher than I no Arika that we discussed earlier. So if I could have swapped them, I would have, but I know Arika was actually deliberately a Valentine's Day song, so it kind of felt like it deserved to be on the main list. But Koi wo surunda is such a beautiful love song. It's got just the flow of the song, dude, is killer. And also the vocals and every Chinen line ever, dude, but that falsetto that he has in the second chorus, like nobody can tell me that Chinen cannot sing. Do not come at me with that bullshit, okay? Just his vocals on this track are phenomenal. He really gets to shine because it's within his vocal range. He does so well with ballads, and I'm a very happy Chinen fan with this song. This was amazing. And his like duet moment with him and Yamachan, dude, okay? I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. Ayane, love letter. Now I know she already appeared, but I kind of felt like Love Letter really suits this time of year as well. It's a little more hopeful, it's a little more happy, it's more spring-like, just kind of more warm-hearted than Lonely Girl, and I find myself listening to that one a lot at this time of year. So onto the bonus list it goes. And that is it for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful in discovering a few new gems to fall in love with, maybe a few new artists that you didn't know of previously, and I hope that you are able to build a playlist or at least have a few new songs to listen to that bring you joy and happiness and all the good warm feelings at this time of the year. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button down there because that does help me when you do that, and let me know in the comments what kind of songs you're listening to at this time of year. What are your favorite love songs? Whatever your favorite music is to listen to at this time of year, what your recommendations are. I would love to see if there's anything that I wouldn't have thought of, or songs that I can give a try and see if I can find a new gem or two. So definitely leave those below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in future videos.